Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited. We are finally tackling the railing on these stairs. You guys, if you saw my previous video, we removed the carpet and put some hardwood floors down. So now it is time to get these rails started. You guys stay tuned and I hope you enjoy. So if you did not see the first part of the stair renovation, definitely go and check out that video over on my channel. Not only did we replace the carpet, but I also knocked down this hideous wall. So you see these beams exposed here. I am just going to take some sheetrock and cover it up. This was a really easy install. With sheetrock, all you have to do is use a box cutter, cut out the line of the sheetrock that you need, and just easily knock it over your knee and the sheetrock pops in half. It's super easy and super DIY friendly. So when cutting sheetrock, it is definitely easier to first cut the brown side. Once you pop it in half, just flip it over and cut the other part, the white part of the sheetrock, and then you're ready to install. All I used was some drywall screws and put the pieces of the sheetrock on the beams, and there you have it. So because the corners of my walls are curved, I did have to reinstall a bullnose corner. I actually saved this piece from my demolition, so I didn't have to go out and purchase a new one. But you can actually find them maybe about $5 or $10 at your local hardware store. I guess depending on how long you need it. But again, I just am, I like to repurpose everything. So I am just reusing the one from my demolition, and as you can see, all I did was cover the drywall with it and hammer it into place with nails. Once the drywall and bullnose were installed, I just got some joint compound to go ahead and smooth this wall out, make everything look nice and smooth all over again. I do also have textured walls, so once the joint compound dried after about a day and a half, I did go back and spray on some wall texturing. I actually found a can of it at my local Home Depot, which was only about $5 for the can. You spray it, it textures your wall, and once everything is dry, you are clear to paint. So because I extended the bottom 3 steps of my staircase, I did need to cap off the end of the stair treads with bull noses. Again, you guys, I absolutely love to use spare parts. So I am actually using some of the bull noses that I cut off from my previous video. And I'm actually just going to glue and nail those into place. And as you can see, I even created my own little corner using a little triangular piece. But again, this was super easy. I just used some wood glue. I nailed it in place with a brad nailer, and then I sanded and restained any edges. So this little piece was the triangular piece that I was referring to. I did apply it again with some glue, and I nailed it into place. And the edges of it actually did poke out, but all I did was sanded it down to make it look super smooth. And then I restained it. That way it looked like one whole piece. So for my stair post, I found this gorgeous stair post at my local Lowe's, and I was absolutely in love with the way you install it. It seemed super easy. It actually has sort of like a peg and lock system. So as you can see, this big chunky block, it actually, you would install that first and then you slide the post right over it and secure it into place. Super easy. As you can see here, I cut my post down to size. I wanted to put mine on the corner of my stairwell, so I just cut it down to size, attached it to the corner, and I used construction screws and finishing screws to nail this into place, so it was super secure and super strong. So part of my stair renovation, I wanted to move the existing rail that the builders put in place. I wasn't in love with the way it was set up on the wall, so I did take it down, and I am now installing my own rail on the opposite wall. You just want to remember, if you ever decide to do this DIY, make sure you are aware of any railing codes or stair codes that are local for you. This way you're still in compliance and in code. And again, this was actually a super easy install. You guys, all I did was use my stud finder to find the studs in the wall after making my measurements, and I installed these really beautiful rails. So you guys, I really love to utilize clamps when I am working or doing a DIY by myself. It makes it super easy to hold pieces into place. I can step back, take a look at how the project is going, and that is what I was doing here. So you guys, I also found at my Lowe's a rail and post fastener. It seemed to be one of the least complicated ways of attaching the rail to the post. So as you can see here, it started with me drilling a hole in the center of the post where the rail would be. So after drilling the hole, I needed to remove the extra debris and wood pieces from the hole just to clear space for my screw. And as you can see, it is a very unique, it requires a socket wrench. So I, thank goodness, have a wonderful handy tool. It is a universal socket adapter, and it will go around pretty much any size screw, and this is what I decided to use to help me install. Once I had my screw into place, I did reinforce it with some liquid nails on the rail and the post, so that when I screwed everything together, it would be super secure. So once the rail was secured to the post, I then went back and made sure it was secure to the rail that I had already installed on the wall. Again, you guys, I love to use clamps. They also help keep the pieces of wood together so that when I am nailing and gluing everything into place, nothing shifts. So the final step of this renovation is to install my new iron balusters. I was super excited about these balusters that I found. They're super sleek and very modern. As you can see, I did need to cut them down to size, and installing them was definitely a first time for me, and I learned so much. So the way that I chose to install the balusters, I would highly recommend to anyone doing a project similar in nature. It required no glue. I first started by drilling my holes at the bottom of the stair treads, and then once I had a rod in place, I would then go to the top of the rail and draw a parallel hole. This for me was easier in that I wanted to make sure the balusters were nice and leveled and even. So I am using baluster shoes to help conceal the install of these rods. It's very important to remember that you do have the shoes on the rods before securing the rods into place. And they also have locks on them. So I like to make sure everything looks uniform. So I made sure all of the locks were facing one way. You guys, so after confirming that each baluster was first leveled, I could then proceed with installing it. You guys, super easy. I just took a drywall screw, and as you can see, I am drilling it into the hole, making it super snug against the rod. You guys, this was super easy, and as you can see, the rod doesn't give. It stuck in place, and there was again no glue required, so I chose this method to install. You guys know I have 2 toddlers, so if any body parts ever get stuck, I feel super secure in knowing that I can remove these rods on my own at any time. And as you can see, once I do have the rods installed, I am just locking the shoes into place. And again, I wanted to make sure that everything was nice and uniform, so I made sure that the locks were facing the same side. Lastly, all I did was painted and stained the post and the railings, and you guys, that was it. You guys, I so hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you did not see the first part of this renovation, go and check that out. You guys, I am so happy with the way my stairs turned out. It is completely changing the vibe and flow of my home. Again, you guys, thank you for all of the support. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and if you are not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one.